So this is page 90 for the Horkstow Grange. So starting in the beginning, some things that I wanted to try with the main melody was not taking a breath between the, so I guess like with the pickup, the 4 measures, not taking a breath after that measure 4, so the first part of the melody to the da 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 da, not taking a breath there, but having a lift, I guess, with each slur and with each crescendo and decrescendo, making those smaller phrases within the larger phrase, and how that's going to work together to push through just the first page, those first 2 sections, from measures 1 to measures 8, yeah, from 1 to 8 as being the whole main exposition of the melody, but having smaller phrases within those and pushing those forward. And so what I wrote, or what I wanted to emote more in the first part of that, I wrote presence, so just establishing a musical presence and establishing the phrase and the lyric. And then going to the second page where it says slightly faster in measure 9, and we have a repeat of the melody. The first part, I guess, trying to move into the second half of the page in measure 13. And so I tried 9, in measure 12, the 3-2, I did, instead of the 3 and 3 pattern that I did early in the 3-2, I did a 1 2 1 2 3 4, because I felt like it could help connect measures 12 to 13. And starting in measure 13, I wrote wait, because that's the first time that we get a fortissimo, and I know that it's kind of this like teaser climax, because we haven't exactly got to the largest climax. So I just wrote wait there, and then in this 3-2 I went back to the 3-3 pattern. I don't know if that's bad or if that could be confusing. But that's what I went back to the 3/3 pattern instead of earlier in the measure 12 3/2 pattern. I did the 2 and 4, and then for holding that the whole notes in the lower voices, I was trying to give like more of a presence with my left hand, and I wrote gliding over the, I guess, trumpet melody where it modulates. And so there I was more just trying to keep time, kind of like at the beginning in where I was like, just establishing presence. But obviously this one's a little bit different because we have this, what is it, minor chord below. So using the crescendo in measure 18, the crescendo in 23 to get back into our main melody. Actually, no, that's not the right spot. Yeah, this whole part, I think I just was kind of just conducting that part, keeping time, but also trying to use this whole section from 18, the section of measure 18 and the section of measure 24, using this whole one to get to the measure 29. And so I think I did a slight retard in measure 27. But I don't know if the retard should start there or earlier, but I think I just started right there on that measure, and then using the next 4/4 measure to reestablish my tempo and to crescendo and connect it to measure 29. And so in this section, what I did here, I wrote shimmer because it's very big and it's very bright, and so I tried to use both hands, larger patterns. I forgot to sing it, but trying to acknowledge the low brass cues, which the only one I can only do the da 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 dum dum. I can only do the quarter note ones. I can't do the eighth note ones. But without getting too fancy, acknowledging the low brass there and cueing them, and then I did a different 6 pattern here. Here I went in measure 32. I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Measure 33, where we have the climax. And here, to show the climax, I just did kind of a bigger pattern. I used a little bit of both of my hands, and then kind of trying to solidify that pattern into something a little bit smaller as we go all the way down to the pianissimo. And yeah, to get a cutoff, I think I just held it and kind of hold and then off. Yes, that is the kind of cutoff that I went. But yes, this is my interpretation of the Horkstow Grange.